Good evening. This is All India Radio Kohima. I'm Jonas Yantan with Evening News. The headlines. Nagaland Legislative Assembly unanimously adopts resolution to actively facilitate early solution to the Naga political issue. Nagaland government strengthens manpower at border areas for safeguarding its border. Home Minister Y Patton says discussions on report of the Commission on RIIN being held at state and district levels. And Nagaland government constitutes committee for identifying candidates for appointment as Lokayukta. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower the guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 6 feet for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075 and state helpline number 1800-345-0019. And now the news. The 8th session of the 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly commenced today. The session began with Chief Minister Y Patton making obituary reference to late Toshi Wongtam, while Speaker Sharinken Longkama made obituary references to late Kudovi Sema, K. Imlong Chang, P. K. Along, N. Yashido Chishi, K. C. Nihoshe, and T. Kikon. This was followed by questions from concerned members on relevant matters. Reporting on assent to the bill, Commissioner and Secretary Nagaland Legislative Assembly presented the report on the Nagaland Goods and Services Tax 4th Amendment Bill 2020, Nagaland Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Amendment Bill 2020, and Nagaland Appropriation Bill 2021, number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Leader of the House and Chief Minister Y Patton introduced the Nagaland Professions, Trades, Callings and Employment Taxation 5th Amendment Bill 2020 and the Nagaland Lokayukta Amendment Number 2 Bill 2021. Rio also tabled a copy of the rules and bylaws of the Nagaland Aglavya Model Residential School Management Society. Later, a discussion on matters of urgent public importance pertaining to the Naga political issue was taken up. The discussion was initiated by Minister for Parliamentary Affairs Nipa Grono. He said government feels that they must bring the negotiating parties together so that they can have discussion with the centre with one goal. Thereafter, the House unanimously adopted a resolution to actively facilitate early solution on the Naga political issue. Later, the House was adjourned for the day and will meet again on Thursday. Nagaland government has recently strengthened its manpower at Vikuto, Ausenden and Zitabella Gate in order to counter the fresh attempts made by Assam to establish new border outposts. This was informed by Deputy Chief Minister Y Patton today in a reply to a starred question raised by MLA Dr. Chamben Muri. He said state machineries are alert and prepared to offset any move by Assam. Patton also said there is no official communication received on the media report that Assam government plans to set up battalion camps at strategic location along the Assam-Nagaland border. MLA Dr. Chamben Muri, while appreciating the state government's move, said diffusing tension in the border areas is not enough, but there should be effort to build rapport as well as create mutual understanding and recognition among the settlers in border areas. Observing that the Border Affairs Department has not been given its due importance, Dr. Muri urged the government of the day and the department to be more active, and if need be, the department can be expanded with more activities and flexibility. Deputy Chief Minister and Minister in charge of Home, Y Patton, said Commission on RIIN headed by Chairperson Pano Zetramye has submitted its report and thereby a consultative meeting of all the tribal hohos and organizations on the proper modalities and system to achieve the objective of RIIN was held on 16th of April this year. In this, he said, it was decided to constitute a state-level joint consultative committee with Home Commissioner as convener and representatives of CNTC, ENPO, and the non-Naga scheduled tribes of the state as members. In the districts, it was decided to constitute district-level subcommittee with DC as convener and the respective tribal hohos as members for holding further deliberations on the issues. Patton informed that presently the committees are holding deliberations on the recommendations of the report and other issues pertaining to RIIN. This statement was made today in reply to a start question raised by MLA Kuzoluzo Nino on the status of RIIN exercise in the state. Responding to queries, Chief Minister Y said the state government is serious on implementation of RIIN and would be presenting the Commission's report after proper consultations with the tribal bodies and civil societies. This news comes to you from All India Radio, Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on a YouTube channel, AIR News Kohima. Nagaland reported 68 fresh COVID-19 positive cases in the last 24 hours, pushing the state's caseload to 20,072. Of the fresh cases reported, 19 were from Dimapur, 15 from Kohima, 14 from Mukukchung, 4 each from Mon and Pek, 3 each from Beren and Twensang, 2 each from Zunupuru and Kifere, and 1 each from Longleng and Woka. 99 persons have recovered from the infection and 3 COVID deaths were reported in the past 24 hours. The death toll has gone up to 563. The state has 1,368 active cases. Nagaland Health and Family Welfare Minister S. Pangyapom today informed the House that a total of 6,02,985 beneficiaries have received the first dose of COVID vaccine in the state as on July 26. Replying to a query by MLA Dr. Chimben Muri, Bangyo said 1,42,269 have been administered with the second dose of COVID vaccine. On whether if the High Court directed the state government to complete the vaccination drive within 3 months, Minister Bangyo replied in the affirmative. Bangyo said, in order to achieve the directives of the High Court, government has intensified the ongoing vaccination drive by way of mobilization of beneficiaries through outreach activities, amongst other programs. The minister said outreach activities are being carried out by the district task forces by involving the departments, administration, civil society organization, and faith-based organizations. He said village councils and ward committees are also being sensitized before mobilization in the respective villages for voluntary vaccination. Bangyo said vaccination centers are also being organized in places other than health facilities, such as workplace, to facilitate beneficiaries. Nagaland government has constituted a committee for identifying candidates to be considered for appointment as Lokayukta. Personnel and Administrative Reforms Department informed that the search committee has as its member the Chief Secretary and the Advocate General of Nagaland. Meanwhile, Nagaland Voluntary Consumers Organization (NVCO) has impressed upon the state government to select the right Lokayukta. NVCO in a statement asked the state government not to recommit past mistakes while selecting a person for Lokayukta or Upa Lokayukta, as it would amount to playing with the highest institution in the state. NVCO emphasized that Lokayukta in its role in Nagaland needs to be strengthened. It said the state is in dire need to check corrupt public servants and punish them. NVCO added that a Lokayukta should not be someone having record of corruption and pending cases against him or political party affiliation. Central Board of Secondary Education CBSE announced the Class 10 result today. The overall pass percentage is 99.04%. Girls have outshone boys again this year with a pass percentage of 99.24%. A total of 98.89% boys and 100% transgenders have passed. And now 20 news, here are the main points again. Nagaland Legislative Assembly unanimously adopts resolution to actively facilitate early solution to the Naga political issue. Nagaland government strengthens manpower at border areas for safeguarding its border. Home Minister Y Patton says discussions on report of the Commission on RIIN being held at state and district levels. And Nagaland government constitutes committee for identifying candidates for appointment as Lokayukta. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.